All right, so we will just continue where we left off yesterday. So yesterday, one of the classmates mentioned about modified box plots, right? So I created a data set um, yesterday, so we can take a look at it together. So let's go to our Brightspace course. Okay. And I want you to open this file under the Excel demo. There's a data set called data set for modified box plot. And let's open that. It's from Excel. And then we're gonna create a modified box plot from using this data set. Okay, so I'm gonna open the data set really quickly. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. So first of all, let's look at the uh, file number summaries on here. So close all those, remove the files. Okay. I will start with the minimum, right? So it's file number summary. So by you know what? Let me do this. Let me screenshot, and I'm just gonna show how to work in details. Okay. I'm gonna screenshot this. Yep. So I'll start with the minimum, right? File number summaries. So the minimum here, it's it's already sorted from the smallest to largest. So minimum file number summaries. And the first number is the minimum. Minimum is 68. The second number is Q1. Q1 equal percentile 55. As you can see, the sample size is 21. And then this is test scores, right? Out of 100. And I guess there's a bonus question probably on the exam. So somebody scored 105 in this exam. And then we can find out the Q1. So basically, if you want to find the Q1, you do n equal to 21, a is 25. So we find using the locator formula L equal to n times t over 100. So it's going to be 21 times 25 over 100. And we will simplify, right? So 25 going to 100, 4 times 21 by 4, that's 5.25. And then we run up to next whole number, so 6. So the sixth data value here, it's the it's Q1. So and let me see, let me use a different color here. Okay, so Q1 will be 6. That's 2, 4, 6, right? This one, 76. So that's going to be the Q1. So Q1 is 76. And that's the second number, Q1. And then let's take a look at the quartile 2. Q2 is median. Since that's 21 numbers, so the median would be the 11th. They scan through this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, right? So Q2 actually is 81. That's a Q2, and then also the Q3. Q3 is percentile 75. So here we're using the locator formula. N is 21. K is 75. The locator equal to N times K over 100. So it's going to be 21 times 75 over 100. And then when we simplify, we get to cancel 20, reduce by 25. So 3 here, 4 here. So we actually end up with 63 over 4. And that's going to be 15.75, I think. Let me double check. 15.75, that's right. So locator is 15.75. Again, we will run up to next whole number. So run up to 16. So the 16th data value is Q3. So let's see. So Q3, this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 87. So the Q3 is basically 87. And then last number, which is fifth number, maxima, it's just going to be the last number, 105. So that's all that's basically the 5-number summaries here. Yeah, so that's max is 105. And now we're going to check whether there's outlier here. So using the outlier come from 2 sources. Outliers is determine if the number is this x value is greater than Q3 plus 1.5 times Q3 minus Q1. Let's see any number exceeds this benchmark. So let's see. Let's do the calculation. So Q3 here is 87. So you do 87 plus 1.5 times Q3 87 minus Q1 76. And this is 87 plus 1.5 times 11. And if we do the calculation, that's going to be 16.5, right? 11 times 1.5, 16.5. 87 plus 16.5. That's going to be 103.5. Now, as you can see, there's an outlier here. The outlier here is 105, right? Because 105 is bigger than this. So that's outlier. Outlier here, 105. So meaning this should be eliminated. We also need to check this is on the right end, right? We also need to check the left end. So on the left end, it will be another possible outlier. Let's check it. If x is less than Q1 minus 1.5 times Q3 minus Q1. And it's also considered as an outlier. So let's see if any number below this threshold. Okay. Q1 is 76 minus 1.5 times 87. minus 76. This is 76 minus 1.5 times 11. And so 76 minus 16.5. So this will turn out to be 69.5. Well, actually, it's 59.5. You can use a calculator. 76. Let me just double check. Make sure it's good. Yeah, that's right. 59.5. All right, so again, nothing below 59.5. So there's no outliers on the left end. So basically, there's only one outlier here, 85, right? I mean 105. So this should be eliminated. So basically, we eliminate this. Now we have to redo the we need to redo the fine number summaries because we get rid of one of them. So one more time. Now we need this data set one more time. Now let me just screenshot again. All right. Let me just screenshot, right? 1 second. And I'm gonna share the screen. Now, since we actually eliminate this outlier, which is 105, right? So now the updated sample size is going to be 20. All right, so now the fine number summaries, fine number summary. And then, so minimum it's going to be stays the same, 68. Now only, well, Q1 changes. Q1 is percentile 25. And so here the sample size becomes 20, right? This is updated sample size 20. So A equal to 20, K is 25. And again, using the locator formula, L equal to 1 times K over 100. So it's going to be 20 times 25 over 100. And this turned out to be 5. Right? And this is exact number, meaning it's a whole number. Then the general rules average, find the average of the 6th, of the 5th, and then 6th data values. And then we scan through the data set, 5th and 6th. It's 2, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be between 75 and 76. So from here, so Q1 equal to adding 75, 76 divided by 2. So this is 75.5. Then figure out the Q1. And then Q2 is the median. So the third number is Q2. And median, since we have 20 numbers, we not consider this one. 20 numbers. So the median is the middle of the 10th and the 11th. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Right? These two numbers. We're going to average 80 and 81. So do Q2 median equal to 80 plus 81 divided by 2. And this turns out to be 80.5. Now we'll figure out Q2 and also the Q3. The fourth number is Q3. And it's a percentile of 75. So sample size 20, K is 75, And let's find out the locator and times k over 100, 20 times 75 over 100. And then we can simplify this. You can just divide into that, it will become 15. So again, we're gonna average the 15th and the 16th data value. And that's gonna be the Q3, right? So I'm gonna put here and so average of 15th and 16th data. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's going to be average of those two. Okay, so it's going to be 85. So Q3 equal to 85 plus 87 over 2. So we simplify that. We reduce it, we get 86. So that's a Q3, it's 86. Now the last number, which is maximum. Now the updating maximum is 93. So that's it's 93. Yeah. Any question so far?
So I just want to clarify, when you find an outlier, you're
Mhm.
just going back through and redoing the math without the outlier involved.
Uh, you mean the previous step, finding the outlier?
Yeah, so once we found
Mhm.
that 105 was an outlier, we're just going back through and redoing Q1, Q2, Q3,
Mhm.
or
Yeah, we have to redo everything. Yeah,
okay,
because
got it.
since it's we decided it's outlier, so we need to get rid of it. Mhm. So that,
Okay, thank
but
you.
that's no problem. Very good question, Caleb. Yeah. So now let's finish
What
up
is
this
the
question.
formula for this equation? Is it L equal N times K over 100?
Yeah, that's right. That's a locator formula. Right, yeah. Samantha, right? So yeah, so that's basically the locator formula is the same, but there are two sets of rule depends on the number of the actual number of the locator, right? If it is whole number, then you're gonna average that number and the next number. Average those two numbers to get your Q1 or Q3. So now let's create a box plot.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So let's create a box plot. So start with the range, right? So we do calculate the range, use different colors. So start with the range, meaning maximum minus minimum. So it's 93 minus 68, and that is 25. Now, similarly, we do the proportion, right? Prorate, right? Prorated each one of this. So each one of the five numbers. So Q1 minus minimum. Q1 is
I was
7.
like, what? You start becoming a player, you guys start dropping money everywhere.
Yep. So Q1 minus minimum, so 75.5 minus 68. Let's see what that is. So it's 7.5. Okay, now we do the ratio proportion, right? So 7.5 over 25, and that's going to be 0.3. Exactly. So 30 percentile. 30% higher. So then on this graph here, we start with the minimum and then maximum. So minimum goes here, maximum goes here. And again, I'm going to erase all this dashed line later. So minimum is 68, maximum is 93. And it seems like Q1 is located on the 30 percentile. So it's kind of like 50 here, and then 25 here. So 30 is probably somewhere here. So we figured out the location of the Q1. So it's 75.5. And also determine the Q2. So you do Q2 minus minimum, and that's going to be 80.5 minus 68. So that is 12.5. And again, we're using 12.5 by 25. 12.5 by 25. And that's actually exactly 50% higher. So it's 0.5, 50% higher. So this one, Q2 is right here. Right in the middle of those. So it's 80.5. And also the Q3. So we do Q3 minus minimum. Yes, I'll put somewhere else. I'll put it here. We do Q3 minus minimum. And Q3 is 86 minus minimum of 68. And that turned out to be 18. And so we do 18 over 25. 18 over 25. Let's see what percentile that is. 18 over 25. 72nd percentile. So it's 0.72. So this is 72%. And supposed to be here, but it's actually a little bit, it's shifted a little bit to the left. So it's here actually. So that's Q3. And the number is 86. So that's, and then we'll create a box in the middle. Create a box. And I'm going to erase all these dashed lines here. And I'm going to extend it on both ends. And also we will put down the 105 here or somewhere. One second. And once we create this extended line here, extended. And then you're still gonna put 105. So this is total difference 25 units. 105, no. And then 105 minus 93, so it's somewhere here. So you put a dot here representing the outline 105. And this is considered as the modified box plot. So this is procedure how we do it. So first of all, we identify the outliers using the selection the criteria. And once you do that, then we're gonna get the 5-number summary one more time because Q1, Q2, Q3 varies after we take off the outlier. Then, yeah, so and then also put the outlier as a single dot on the right-hand side of the box plot. Okay, so that's basically how you construct a modified box plot. Any question about this?
I'm just a little bit confused from part 2. Where did you get 20N and K25 from?
K25. Okay. So because of the percentile 25, you see this P25 subscript 25, meaning here the percentile is 25. It's percentile 25. And then K means whatever percentile that is.
Okay, I got it.
So, yeah, so K comes from the K is a subscript basically, right? And then also here's percentile 75, very similar, right? So K is the subscript of the 75.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Samantha. Yeah. Any other questions before we move on to Excel demo? So now let's go back to our Brightspace course. And then again, go back to go to course home and scroll down to Excel demo. And then let's click on the lab one practice. Okay, so we're gonna practice. Okay, I'm gonna download a file. It's basically some basic operations, right? Like calculations you encounter using Excel. So we'll take a look at that in a second. So let me open the file, and also meanwhile, you guys open the Excel file. So I'm gonna go to. Yeah, let me share the screen first. So in the Excel, yeah. So this is the typical Excel interface, and if you want a new blank Excel spreadsheet, you just go to File, and then you're gonna see a blank workbook. That's what you need. There are some like tutorial here, depends on the version of your Excel, and you can look into those, right? Just to get started with the formulas. That's what we do today, and also make your first pivot table, right? We're gonna do that as well. Create a pivot table, and then you can create some kind of like special charts, right? For different purposes, for business purposes or other like finance, all those different purposes. But let's just open a blank workbook. So this is a typical Excel interface. And here, let me just quickly give you some introduction to this Excel spreadsheet. So on the top, there are some icons here, like you can, if you pull on the auto save, right? Put this on, then you'll be auto saved. Depends on your drive. For OneDrive, like in my case, it will be auto saved under my email address, right? OneDrive under my email address. Or you can just you can, if you don't want to use the auto save, you can just get rid of it, right? Just kind of like click on it, and then you'll be turned off. And also this is first thing, and also under the file, there are different options. When you work on your actual Excel project, if you don't finish in one settings, right, then you need to save it. So typically you can save as, right? You can save in your desktop, a laptop. You just go browse and then go to your, let's say I will save it under downloads, right? So here I'll just put on as an Excel. I'll give a name, like Excel, and just click on save. And this is how you save it. And also, one more thing is right below this, there's option. And then under the later on, right? Later on in the semester, when we get to the like chapter 10, 11, 12, we will need a add-ins, right? And then if you click on these add-ins, there are a lot of different add-ins here. It's kind of like an embedded package, right? Kind of like and then what we need here is an analysis tool pack. So this a package designed for the data analysis. Now, if you click on Go, basically, if you check this, I'm gonna uncheck it first, right? If you uncheck it, and then let's check it, okay, and then click on OK. Now this tool pack, okay. Now, once we do that under data, and you're gonna see this data analysis icon, meaning you can run some data analysis using this package, embedded package. All right, that's a ANOVA test, descriptive statistics, and histogram, right? F-test, T-test, Z-test. And that's what we're gonna learn later, right? Later in the second half of the semester. But yeah, so that's how we execute the data analysis tool pack using under the option. But again, later we'll go over this one more time. So that's basically what we have under this file. And then under the home, there's a lot of like shortcuts, right? Like I use this to do some modification, right? Let's say I just randomly generating a data set here, right? So let's make a data set. And I'm going to show you, let's say I'm going to generating a data set with A numbers, but with the same pattern. So I'm going to bold this. This is, we can, even when you highlight all those cells, you can actually apply the settings in one shot. So here I bold all the cells here. And also I put all borders, make it look like a table. And then here under alignment, I make it, I center everything, right? I center all everything. And also we can change the font size. Let's say you decide to change it to font size 18, right? Something like that. You can do that. And then we can drag the cell to enlarge the cell. And then since right here, I generate a couple numbers, which is 2 and 5. I just create a couple numbers, right? 2 and 5. And then the pattern here is that's an increment of 3. Now, if you highlight those two numbers, and then if you drag it out, now Excel will follow the pattern of the first two numbers. So basically, the pattern is adding 3 to the previous number to get next one, right? So Excel will follow the same pattern. We do the same thing. Add 3 to 5, get 8. Add 8 by 3 to get 11. Add 11 by 3 to get 14, etc. So that's kind of like a random generator, right? According to your pattern, according to the pattern you design. Okay. So this is something, right? Let's say you want to quickly, and theoretically speaking, you can generate as many numbers as you like, right? You can just keep going, and then Excel will generate as many as you want. Okay, I'm gonna just undo the second step, right? We don't need that many, so I'm gonna just go back. So you can undo that, or like if you want to redo, right? You just click on this icon right here, you can redo it. So I'm going to undo it. We don't need that many numbers. And we can actually modify these cells, right? Once you highlight all these cells, let's say you want to put a background. Okay, you can put a different background right in the back. Let's say you put a light green as a background. And then you can change all these numbers, including titles, different colors. Yeah, so this is something we can do, right? You change the different colors. And a lot of basic settings, right? Let's say you want to change orientation, alignment, right? To different alignment. That's doable. So this is basically, and then another thing is a format painters, right? I use that a lot, right? So if you select this entire data set, including the title, you click on format painter, and then just apply to another, let's say, column. So basically all these settings will be copied and then paste on a column D, right? On a column D right here. So this is one more thing, right? We can do in Excel. And I'm just yeah. So this is basically, let's say I create another data set for Y, and this time I'm using increment of 4, right? So we do 1, 5. Now highlight those two, drag it out. So we get another data set, right? Which is have the exact same settings as the first data set. And let's say I want to put them together, you can just delete this cell here, right? Click on the column C, right click on it, and then we can delete it. And then now they come together. Yeah. So we get a data X, data Y, data set X, data set Y. And also we can do some quick calculation. Let's say you want to get a total, right? Total of this data set X, data set Y. I'm just gonna use a different font size here. So if you highlight all those numbers, and then there's a shortcut on top, it's called sum, right? It's called auto sum actually. If you click on this really quickly, it basically will sum up all the data values there. I think something happens. So here, put right here, and then highlight all these cells, click on auto sum, and give us a total of 100. And then also we can get a total of the second column. Now this time we're using a formula. So we can type in a formula here. So you put equal sign, right? In Excel, you want to do any calculation, you need an equal sign. Okay. Then do sum. And then you highlight all those cells. Basically, it's from cell C3. This is C3, C3, right? All the way to cell C10. And you see the colon in between, indicating we are adding the numbers from cell C3 all the way down to cell C10. Okay. Now you hit enter, right? On the keyboard, you get 120. And let's say you want to do a average, right, of those. So let's format a painter, do a quick average. I like the mean. I just calculate the mean. It's easier this way. And so you can just type equal sign and then type in average. Okay, and then Excel will add up those numbers and divide by sample size here is just going to be 8, right? 8 numbers here. So we can know this. So 12.5. So 100 by 8 is 12.5. Similarly, we do average of the second data set. Okay, and those parentheses, now basically we get the average of the second column or second data set. What? It's 15. Also, let's say you want a median. You can ask the Excel to figure out the median for us. So I'm just for my cells. Okay, so let's say you would have find a median here. And so you just type in median, open parentheses, equal sign first. Median, open parentheses, and I highlight those. close parentheses. And Excel will do the calculation for us and then find out the median. Okay. Again, median is 12.5. Actually, median is the average of those two numbers. Look at that, be those two, 11 and 14. Right. So we add 11, 14, we get 25 by 2, 12.5. So median for this one, so we do the same thing, right? So it's going to be 13 plus 17 by 2 will be 15. So let's open it, put in the formula equal to median, open parentheses, and then we highlight all the data values from C3 to C10 and close parentheses. And we get 15. See, exactly 15. And this data set is well behaved, right? Because the mean and the median are the same. Yeah, so that's very well behaved, right? Data set, meaning there's no skewness. Okay, that's very well spread out data set. And also we can find the mode, right? Let's say you want to find the mode. Do the same thing, you type in mode, open parentheses, and highlight all those numbers. And you see, because every data value shows up once, right? So there's no mode. They will tell us number and name, meaning not applicable. Also, another way of saying that is no mode. Same thing here, type in mode, and now we just highlight those, open parentheses, highlight those numbers, those parentheses, and you will see no mode, right? This number and name means no mode. Any question? Any questions so far? Okay, so then, and also we can, let's say you want to increase and decrease the amount of decimal place. Like this is a shortcut to do that, right? I'm just quickly putting a number, right? Let's say 1.235678. And I'm just gonna format this. And I'm gonna decrease the amount of decimal. So you just click on that cell and then this is increasing, right? And then you can decrease the amount of decimal. And Excel, yeah, will run it for us. And then you can increase the amount of decimal. I click on this right here. Just keep adding the, this is how we run the number to a certain decimal place, right, in Excel. And also, I think we did this earlier. It's called sorting, right? We can sort, let's say, in this data set, we can sort this to, if you want to sort the data set X, you just highlight those numbers. And under this, you can do a sort smallest, largest. It's already sorted, but if you want to sort it to the largest to smallest, you can do that. And then here, the sort warning window will pop up. It says, what do you want to do, right? Like, let's say we want to continue with the current selection, meaning we don't want to expand the selection. We just want to keep sorting this data set without expanding. So you typically just pick the second option, continue with the current selection and sort it. Now it's from the largest to smallest. And again, you can sort again from smallest to largest, but this warning message will pop up. And again, you don't expand the selection, right? If you expand the selection, you sort entire column. That's not what we want, right? So we have to go back, meaning we're just gonna stay with the current selection. But again, sort smallest, largest, continue with the current selection. Okay, sort. Now it's going back. So that's, and also the add-ins. So this is kind of like packages, right? So if you click on add-ins, I don't think I have too many add-ins, enable add-in catalog from Trust Center. Okay, so let me go to Trust Center. And depends on the version of your Excel, right? Some of your Excel program may not have this option, but that's okay, right? We don't need it. And also, I don't think I could activate that. Maybe under this account. Okay. Yeah, so again, I'm using the school version of Excel. So they'll probably ask me to log in on the see. Yeah, so again, they just like updating the email system. So yeah, oh, okay, this one works. We'll see. But you don't, if you don't have this option, that's okay, right? You don't have to do this. Just see what happened here. Try. Sign to all apps and websites on this device. Now let's see if it work. Okay. And also there's a kind of like settings about the account privacy. You can also set that. If this takes too long, then I'm gonna just exit. And then also right here you can get add-ins, right? If you're using a school version, you probably have the similar settings like what I have here. So that's AI add-ins, right? This is gonna be big later, right? And then agents, popular, and also kind of like AI add-ins. You can analytics add-ins, data visualization, finance, utilities, all those different add-ins. Add-ins is kind of like app, embedded app. You can actually embed app into the Excel program, right, to make it more effective. But I don't think it's coming soon to your team, so it's not available yet. Right? I don't think so it's coming soon to. So that's okay. So I'm gonna just go back here. Let's stick with the current what we have here in the typical interface here. So and also insert, right? That we can insert different kind of like graphs, the charts, and then recommended charts. Right? We need to select in order to like insert a recommended chart, yeah, something like that. And basically we can pick right, different chart. There's a recommended chart. We can create a linear equation here because it's a constant increase, right, for both data set. So the linear equation works. Also all charts, there are a whole bunch of different charts available here. And in your second project, you guys gonna create couple charts, right? Couple graphs using this option. We'll get there, right? But yeah, different charts, histogram, box whisker. Okay. Let's see. Basically just generate a box whisker plot for us, right? For both data sets. Now we can do a side-by-side comparison and see, like this one, you click on OK. And basically just create a box plot for both a data set X, data set Y. And we can do a quick, like cross-reference or like checking the data set, the distribution of the data set of data set X and data set Y. All right, so that's under the recommended chart, right? So you can also insert a pivot table, and we're gonna go over that a little bit later. And what else? Tables, we can insert a table here. Okay, no problem. Where is the data? Where is the data for your table? Yeah, my table has headers. Yeah, so that's we can create a table using this. Maps, okay. Pivot charts, right? Also we can insert symbols, right? Like equations, you can insert mathematical equations here. Let's say, let's give us here, and then we can type in the equation under this option here. Let's say f of x. Let's say equal to x squared plus 4, something like that. So that, right, we can insert a title, something like that. If you, let's say you custom design your chart and then you want to put a special like label or special title, on top of your chart, and this could be an option, right? So, yeah, looks something like that. So basically it becomes and we can move it to where you like to put it in the center, right? So basically a lot of things you could do with all these options. You can design something, create a fancy graph or fancy, design out of this using Excel program. And also you can draw, right? Let's say you want to draw something, you can use the drawing tools, and then you can actually here, so you can draw something. So this function. Yeah, so this is another option here. So you can do some extra drawing, and if you don't need it, you can just erase it. So this is under drawing, so maybe you can play around with it, and you can draw with a different style, different like pen, highlighters, fountain pen, brush pen, pencil. And the page layout is mainly for when you try to print this out. Let's say you want to print a graph and then distribute to your audience. So then you need to change the margin, orientation, size, print area, all those different options. You could modify that right here. And then also, that's pretty much it. And then for formulas, we're going to use formulas very frequently. And then you just insert a formula, let's say you want to look up some formulas under the financial formulas, logical formulas, text formulas, auto sum, right? So those like sum, average, count numbers, maximum, minimum. And if you want to see more functions, it would take you, let's see, more functions. No, okay. Or if you want to look up all the formulas, you just click on insert function. Usually you should have a window pop up. Yeah, right here. If you click on that, it will pop, there's a window will pop up, right? And then basically you can type in, let's say you want to search a function, you want to do an amortization schedule. And click on go. So no, nothing, right? There's no such thing. Or you can do, let's say you want to do the average. You type in this average under search a function, click on go. And then everything start with the average related to average function will show up here. And then the second one is what we need, right? So average, all the numbers, return the average, arithmetic mean of its arguments, which could be numbers or names, arrays, references that contain numbers. And basically, that's how you look up the formulas. Now, this is recommended. Also, if you get rid of this search option, and then click on this, right? That's most recently used formulas, hyperlink, average, average, absolute deviation, right? This is absolute average of the absolute deviation. Sum, if, this is argument, right? Logical test argument. Count, max, and also the financial. If you into the finance, you want to look up some financial formulas. You can look into this, what this is doing, each formula. Bond, this is about coupon date after settlement date. It's a coupon for CDs, right? For CD, certificate of deposit. So formula is designed for different kind of like purposes, right? Under the financial, and also there's a math and tree, right? Trigonometric or typical mathematics. Like the one we're going to use is EXP, exponent with base E. This is returns of E raised to a power of a given number. So it has a detailed description down below here, telling you what this formula is doing, the purpose of each formula. And return a natural logarithm of a number, right? LM. Okay. And yeah, so if you need to tangent, right, this tangent, return a tangent of the angle. Right. And also statistical, right? This is statistical formulas, all of this, right? Like z-test. This is what we're gonna do later, right? When we move on to chapter 8, right, we're gonna do z-test. Yeah. And also data set, logical information. So you can easily look it up here, right? All the formulas and the functions. Now let's exit. Okay. Okay, so another data, the most important thing is data analysis, right? So we'll get to that later. Okay. About the data analysis. When we move on to second half of, when we start chapter 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then we start using this data analysis tool pack. And also review if you need to check the spellings, all those, it's available. Let's say you type in a short paragraph summarizing your discovery in your data analysis, then you check the spellings, check performance, those sort of different options. Yeah, that's pretty much. And also under help, if you click on help, and let's say you want to do a quick research, right, about, let's say, ANOVA, and then you search for it, ANOVA single factor. And then here you will show up all the options under the Excel. Right, one of them is using the analysis tool pack to perform a complex data analysis, right? And if you click on it, it has an introduction about that. And the entire paragraph is about data analysis and doing the one-way ANOVA. And all the corresponding, like this is ANOVA, you see. When you click on it, You can read through this and you can perform your own research, right? Do some research and then learn from this. So anything, right? Anything you wanna dig into, right? You can use this option here. So that will be the introduction of this Excel program. So any questions or any comments?
Are we also going to be learning R as well?
If we have a time today, right? If you have a time,
Yes.
yeah. Hmm? Yeah, sure. If you have a time today, if we go over both projects, Excel project demo, and then we still have time, I'm gonna give you some introduction to our programming language as well. But let's see, right? Otherwise, maybe next week. Okay. If not today, it will be next week. I definitely will give you some introduction to our coding language. Yeah. And then let's just jump into the demo for the Excel project number 1. So I'm gonna open that Word file, right? So this is gonna be okay, so I'm gonna share this screen right here. If you go to that our Brightspace course and then you open that Word document, this one is a Word document. And then basically we are doing some basic calculations in Excel, like level 1 practice, right? Your actual project will be similar to this. So it's kind of like we're going over some of the basic operations and then basic tools in Excel. And then you guys can apply that to complete your Excel project. So the level 1, I'm going to copy these titles. Okay, so copy this and then go back to the Excel. This is the Word file I'm talking about, right? And then you can get it from our Brightspace course. And then you just copy this. And I'm going to go to Excel program. Now here, I'm going to open a new spreadsheet. Okay, so click on open. No, actually new, right? New. And then under the new, click on that spreadsheet blank workbook, which is a new spreadsheet. All right, so I'm going to paste this. I'm just going to do Control V, right, paste it. And we are doing the lab 1 practice. So evaluate the functions indicated, calculate them by using Excel. I'll start with question 1, right? Question 1. Let's see. Let's go back to that Word document. Now we are doing this one, right? First one is f of x equal to is a function. It's a function notation. So we have a function f of x equal to 6x, 6 times 3x minus 4. And then we want to find out f of 5, f of negative 8. Now actually you can copy this. If you want, you can just copy, click on this and then copy. Now go back to this Excel. Yeah, this yeah, this one. Right. So this part 1, and I paste this. I paste the function here. And then also here, the typical input should be 6 times 3 times x minus 4. Now we are doing a couple of things, f of 5. And then f of negative 8. And then we'll do it here, right? So I'm gonna, maybe I'll just create this. All borders, okay. Look like a table. I'm gonna center everything. And right here, we'll do this. We'll put in equal sign first. Let me just format printers. And put equal sign. Then we do 6 times 3 times 5 minus 4. Right, so basically replacing the x with a given number, which is 5 in the first case. So x becomes 5. Yep. And then you just hit enter, you get a result. So result is this, 66. And now once you guys try f of -8 yourself, right, in a Excel spreadsheet, maybe a couple minutes, try it out yourself. All right, let's check the answer for the second one. So again, you put equal sign, you do 6 times, open parentheses, 3 times -8 minus 4. And that will do it. And you hit enter, you get a result, -168. Now, for my printers for the part 2. So part 2, let's go back to the Word document. And right here, I'm going to copy this g of x. Click on copy. And we go back to the Excel file. Not this one. This one. So part 2. And again, I use the format painters, so you see the pattern already also applied to all these cells. Yeah, so now here I'm gonna just simply modify this. So it'll be 5 times 2x minus 1 over x. So if you want to put numerator in the parentheses, there's nothing wrong with that. It's going to be 2 layers of the parentheses here. And without parentheses is okay, right? There's no confusion for Excel. Let's see what we need to do. We need to do z0 and g of -4. Okay. Or maybe let me just delete this. Okay, let me just save it. Save this file and then get rid of this. Don't save. Okay. And always just go back to this. Oh, so it'll be G0. and also g of negative 4. And let's start with the g0, so it'll be equal to open parentheses. So this parenthesis is not needed. So maybe let me just do it without using that second layer of parentheses. So you can just do 5 times 2 times 0 minus 1, replacing the x with a 0, and divide by 0 and minus 4. As you can see, anything divided by 0 will be undefined. And then if you hit enter, you get this. This is saying division by 0. Right here, this indicates division by 0. Right, that's how we interpret this syntax. Or like special symbols here. Number div over 0, exclamation mark means it's division by 0. You guys try the g negative 4, right? I'll give you a couple minutes, give it a try.
Hey, Professor,
Yeah, sure.
wouldn't it be easier to just make a table with your X values on one side and your formula referencing a cell on the other instead of putting in X every time?
Oh yeah, that's also equally good. Yeah. Yeah, very good. I didn't so maybe let's do that as well. Yeah, let me just paste it here. That's a good idea. Yeah, you can do this, right? So for sure. So you just type in 5 based on Caleb's recommendation, right? You can just type in the X value here and using the cell numbers, right, to do the operation to calculate the result. That's equally good. So you can do this, right? And then also here, if you do that, you only need to type in the formula once. So like the one we have here, so you do 6 times 3 times 5 minus 4. No, actually using the cell number, right? So
Yeah,
this
cell
cell
number,
number,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So minus 4, then yeah. If we do that, and we get a result first, right? Also, you can just drag it. Right? If you drag it out, you get the answer for the second as well, right? I guess maybe this is easier, right? Let's do this then instead of using this one right here. We're just gonna stick with this. Okay, so again, here will be 0 and negative 4. Now, if we do one of that, just changing this 0 to cell number A10, right? And this one is A10. Yep. And that'll be good, right? And then you only need to do it once. Division by 0. Okay, now we'll get the other one. And Excel will mimic the formula we just used. But instead of using the cell A11 to do the calculation. Okay. But that's good. Yeah, that's very good. Okay, very good. Recommendation. Yeah, I think this is easier for you guys, so you don't have to do input the formula a couple times. Just input once and then drag it out. You get a result for the second one. All right, let's look at the third one. Okay. So one more time, let's go back to this Word document. This one is a little bit more complicated. So I'm gonna just copy this. Copy. This is a rational function. And then let's go back to Excel. And this is question 3. And paste it here. Okay. Now we're gonna do some put in some multiplication symbols here. Multiplication symbol. And then 5x must be put in the parentheses because it's not a single term, right? So denominator also need to put into the parentheses. Okay, close out this, should be good. And 9 over 4x plus 1. Now we are doing couple h of -2 and then h of 3. So meaning x is equal to -2, x equal 3, -2 and 3. So we put in -2 here and 3 here. Okay. Now let's do the calculation. Let's start with the 2 times, open couple parentheses, and that will be -4 times, open parentheses, 3 times this cell A14. That's x minus 2, close couple parentheses, and dividing by, as you can see, each layer of the parentheses actually refer back to different operations. Like the inner purple one, or like purple one, it's just for this operation here. And then the red one is for the second layer, which is the entire numerator here. And then 5 times x, 5 times cell of A14, right? And then close parentheses, you see these two are equivalent, numerator, denominator in the same color, meaning they are parallel. That will take care of first. And then close parentheses. I think this one is not needed, right? This one is, I guess we can put it there. That's okay. It's 2 for the, so you can put it, these parentheses to close out the quotient of those 2 terms. And then plus 9 over 4 times cell A14. You can just type in A14, right? If you know x is A14, so we do that. Then plus 1. Yep. And then that will do it. Okay, and then he enter, you get that. And again, we can drag it out. Now here we can do a quick setting here, right? So click on format cells, and then basically you can change the alignment, font size, border, fill, protection, and the number, click on number, and then I'm gonna run it to 2 decimal place. Or if you want more decimal, you just increase this, right? Click on this up arrow. You can increase the amount of decimal or decrease. Yeah. Click on that, so it's running to 2 decimal place. Any question about this? Okay. Now let's look at question 4. So I'm gonna one more time for the printers. So I don't have to do the settings every time, right? So for every cells. So let's look at question 4. Question 4 is the exponents with the base e. Okay, I'm gonna copy this one more time. And then we go back to, and the x value is 2 and -5. We go back to this and paste it, but for the exponent base e, the input is slightly different. It will be exp. It's a special input. Okay, so this is one of the exceptions. It doesn't follow the convention So you gotta just type in EXP means E raised to whatever power. Then we do 2, -5. So now for the first operation, first part, we do EXP, open parentheses. Now we're gonna do X, which is A18 square minus 1, close parentheses. Right, and then just hit enter, we get this. And then we can drag it. Since we use a cell, then then becomes this, right? And this is a very large number. So then we gotta modify this, format cells. And then under the format cells, we're gonna use 1000 separator. And then we don't want, yeah, 2 decimal is okay. And click on that. And then we're gonna see it's a 26 billion, right? 489,122,129.84.
Can you show me where you saw the 1000 separator box again? I'm sorry.
Sure, yeah, definitely. Right click on it, format cells, and under number, you see, check this, that will
Yep.
pop up using 1000 separators.
Thank you.
So no problem, yeah. Click on OK, right? We get that. Okay, so the special inputs, right? EXP, something you have to be mindful, right? It's not regular one. So again, format painters, one more time. Yeah. Now let's look at question 5. Okay, let's go back to this. And this one again is exponent, but it's a special type. Okay, and then x is 0 and then -1. So I'm gonna copy this, copy, and then share, go back to this, and this is 5. Is it? And now here it will be 5 times x raised to 3x minus 2. And number is 0 and -1. 0, -1. They do this, so 5 times x is a cell on this cell here, A22 raised. Now, because of not E, right? If E, you don't need the exponential symbol, right? This one. Exponent, you don't need it. But for the rest of the numbers, you need this exponential symbol. So it'll be 3 times x is this, A22, then minus 2. And that will do it. And then Excel also follow the pandas, right? Meaning Excel will perform the exponent first and multiply. So it follow the exact, because it's coded, right? Excel is also coded by the professional coders. So they just put in all sorts of rules from the math side. So yeah. So and then he enter, right? So again, it's division by 0 because it's a 0 raised to a negative power raised to -2. So this also indicates it's division by 0. So meaning answer does not exist, right? Anything divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, so that's another way of saying undefined. Oh yeah, and then once we since we use a cell number, so then we can drag out. Second one is -5. Yeah, so in terms of dragging, you see this green box here, and some of you guys, if this is the first time using this, you see this green box, and then you put a cursor to the bottom right-hand corner until you see the solid plus sign, right? Then you can just drag it. then the formula will apply. Let's say I delete this one more time. You put a cursor to the bottom right-hand corner. And then until you see the solid plus sign, right? A bold plus sign, now you have to drag it. That meaning Excel will mimic the previous formula and adjust the cell to cell A23 and then perform the operation automatically, right? So which is more convenient. This is how you do the dragging, especially if you deal with a large data set and then you perform the similar operations on, let's say, many cells, and this could be very effective way of doing that. Also, it's you get it done in no time, right? It's saving you a lot of time. Yes, and then let's look at question 6. Yep. So let's go back to question 6. Oh, no. 6. So question 6, again, it's exponent. It's still exponent, but this time it's a base 3.25. Just gonna copy this and then go back to the Excel spreadsheet. So question 6, paste it right now. Then this thing, you can just get rid of this special symbol. It's not needed. So it's 9 times 3.25 raised to 5 times x minus 1. Then we are doing couple operation x equal -3 right here, and then 5. -3 and 5. -3 and 5. Now one more time, we just do 1, right? 9 times 3.25 raised to 5 times this and minus 1. And then that will do it. And he enter, we'll get a result. Yeah, so, and this run into 2 decimals, so you don't see anything. You can say you want more decimal, you want to see some numbers, right? After that, so this is what that number look like, right? Once you keep adding the decimal, using the shortcut here, right? You can get more decimals. But I think this is good enough. And then after that, we can just put a cursor, click on this. Once you see the green box, cursor on the bottom right-hand corner, drag it. So this one is, again, we need to modify this. So go back to format cells. Now here, using 1000 separator, we don't need 9 decimal. We only need 1 decimal, right? 1 decimal is enough. And click on OK. Yep, so then they will be formatted properly. Okay, do you guys have any question up to this point? All right, so we're gonna
I'm
finish.
trying to pull up the Excel, the one that you have in the screen right now. I don't know, do I have to download the app in order to do that, or do I find it in Brightspace?
You mean the Excel program? So the thing is that all the BMC students have an account, right? I'm gonna show you where to get access to the Excel program. So just go to CUNY email. So go to Google, type in CUNY email, right?
All right, CUNY email.
Yeah. And then click on the first icon here. And then go to Technology Service, right? City University of New York. Click on that. And then you need to sign into, are you a student? You are the student. So here, that's Office 365 for Education. This is a free version for all CUNY students. And if you click on that, you just need to put in your student login. and you'll be able to open this Excel program from there. So just type in your email address, right? And then next. Yes,
Okay.
Diana, you
Yeah,
have a question?
just
Mhm.
no, I was just to answer the previous person because I think they were asking if this was a document that is on Brightspace. Just to clarify, this is copied from the Word document that is on there.
Mhm.
But what you're looking at right now in the screen share, he inputted over the last few minutes using the stuff from the Word document. So hopefully that helps.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
definitely.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's great. Yeah, that's sorry, I misunderstand you. I thought you are looking for the Excel program, but again, if you don't have an Excel installed, and you can use a free version, right? The school version of Excel program, and it's free, so you don't have to purchase it. I think Microsoft now ask people to purchase even use the live version. You still have to pay for it. But as a CUNY student, you don't have to, right? You just sign into that using your school email, and you get free access, right? Yeah. Okay. And then
Thank you.
no problem. Yeah. So let's take a break, right? Take a um 20 minutes break and come back. We'll finish the um lab one demo, and then I'll give you some time, finish your project number one, and then we will move on to project number two. Okay. All right. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay. All right, let's resume. Right. Let's finish the Excel project number one demo. So one more time, the last question here, it's on creating a table of five order pairs of this linear function. Let's just copy this, copy the entire question here. Copy and go back to the Excel spreadsheet and paste it here.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yeah, sure.
When I click on the Word document for the Excel project one, I get different equations for 1 through 6.
Oh, that's you're probably looking at the actual project. So
Oh,
you're
this is
working
like
on
a
the
mock project?
yeah. So
Oh, okay.
this is a
Sorry, my
demo.
mistake.
No worries. Yeah. This is just a demo, right? Meaning I'm working on something similar, but you guys gonna work on the actual project. It's in the Brightspace, and then if you go there,
Do we need to submit this demo or just the project?
just the actual project. This is just helping you get started, right?
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And your actual project is under Excel project submission. You click on it, and you're gonna see all this project and due date, right? The first couple projects due on this, and again, you're gonna click on it, and it has uh, I think it's PDF Excel. Why is PDF file? Let me see why. Oh yeah, it's just a PDF file, right? But you can use a Word file just like what I did, right? So you just have to copy all these questions from the actual project, this Word document. So you will work on this later, right? When we finish the demo, you can start jump right into this. Okay, so now let's go back to this. Okay, this Excel spreadsheet. Now, so we want to create all five order pairs, and then for this equation, which is this, and graph the linear equation using five order pairs. Gonna format this. All right, so we have an equation here. If you want to rewrite it, it's gonna be f of x equal to minus 2.5 times x plus 25.6. And we are generating 5 order pairs, right? We're creating 5x values and then also the f of x. Right. All right. And over this. Okay. So now let's generate. First of all, let's create x values. Let's say start with we can do 0, right? No problem. And then an increment of 2, right? Let's say 0, 2, and we're creating 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. And then from there, we can just let Excel generate the rest of the numbers. You get the rest of the numbers by dragging the cells, highlight those, and then meaning showing just indicating what increment we are using here. And you can just drag it out to get the rest of the numbers. Now, next thing, I'm going to use this, right? Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put M here, slope, and y-intercept using this cell, using my painters. Yeah. So I'm going to put slope as minus 2.5. And then the y-intercept is 25.6. I think 25.6. Now, here, this one, I'm going to just using the cell numbers and to get a result. So you do this cell here, which is slope. And then we will lock the cell, meaning we're using absolute reference, right? So you do put dollar sign in front of the B, dollar sign in front of 33, and then you're going to multiply this by the x value, right? X value changes. The slope will be the same for all calculations. Y-intercept will be the same for all calculations. That's why we do the absolute reference, meaning we lock in the cell for both slope and y-intercept. Any question? Okay, and then also the y-intercept, right? Same thing. Put a dollar sign from D, dollar sign from 34. And the good thing about this is once we put in one formula now and then lock in the cell properly, now we can just apply this to the rest of the cells. Like Excel will just go back to cell D33 for slope, D34 for y-intercept, and then changing the x values in the remaining calculations. If you drag it, now all the numbers will pop up, and then if you just randomly click on one of the formula, you see that cell D33 has been used for slope. D34 has been used for the y-intercept. Yeah, so that's so this absolute reference, right? This is called absolute reference. Absolute reference. And it could be quite convenient, especially you have a large quantity of calculation, identical calculations. Then doing this will be very neat. Okay, so this is called absolute reference. And now once we finish all of this, then we can just then graph the linear equation using those 5 order pairs. So you go to insert, and then we're gonna click on this. It's kind of like a scatter plot, right? In a sense. So we're gonna click on the last option here with all the dot. And we can pick this. meaning you just connect it for us, right? If you pick the second option, you connect it for us. And also we can modify this. That's a try design on top, right? We can actually pick a design you like, or like we can custom design this graph. For example, let's say you pick this one, right? And right, and then click on this plus sign here. You can do a lot of more things, right? If you click on data labels, you just show the numbers, Y values on each point, on top of each point. Axis titles, right? You can put in, let's say these are the X values. And yeah, and then let's use different color, right? Now Y values will be what we call it f of x. So again, a lot of things we can modify, right? And title, if you want, you can just type in f of x equal to minus 2.5 times x plus 45.6. So that's actually the equation of this straight line. All right. And then we can also do some other like settings, format, plot areas. You know, you can do a solid fill like with a different color in the background, right? To get a good design, let's say, solid fill, right? With this color maybe. Okay. All right. It's just slow. It's slow to respond. Yeah, for some reason. But yeah, it's so this is something we can do, right? Format plot areas, and here we can change the shadows, you know, to different, like shadow become different colors, glow, you know, a lot of things, you know, we can, yeah, soft edges. Let's see, and 3D format. Yeah, if it's 3D, right? So something like that. Yeah. So a lot of things we can do, right? Just to custom make this graph right here. All right. Any question about this? So this is a lab 1 demo, right? In your actual lab, actual project number 1 looks similar. So I'm going to save this for now, and then I will upload this to the Brightspace so you can use it as a reference. So right here, I'm going to browse, downloads. This is lab 1 demo summer 2026. Again, I'm going to upload this file to our Brightspace course, and you can use it as a reference. Go to course home, and then I will upload it to Excel demo. I already uploaded lab 1 demo, but it's from the other semester. It's called lab 1 practice solution, right? I'm gonna upload this file as well, since we use a different method to calculate questions 1 to question 6. I'm gonna upload this as well. So either way you want to use it, you want to do it, you're gonna good. I want demo solution. Okay. So I'm gonna just add. Okay. Put right below the file itself. Okay, it's right here. Okay. So there are a couple like solution menus, you know, you can use as a reference. All right, so that, and then I plan to go over the lab 2 demo as well before I let you work on the actual project itself. So let's open the lab2 practice, right? This one is a spreadsheet, so we're gonna open it as a spreadsheet directly. So click on that, and then you're gonna download this lab2 practice. It's a McDonald's breakfast, right? It's the one we did in class. We just work on this data set here. So then let's open it. Neural editing. Okay. And I go to, I'm going to share screen. Not this one. I'm going to close all this. Save. This is the one we are working with right now, right? For this. And then your second project will look similar to this, right? There'll be another data set. You will create a frequency distribution table and a histogram, also a pie chart. But so let's follow this. Let's go over this, the steps. So in order to create a histogram, so step one is determine the number of the classes. This is, let me just format this. Okay, so step one, determine the number of classes. And it's already determined, right? So it's using 6 classes. So number of classes will be 6. Second step, find the class width. So the maximum here is, in this data set, maximum is 59, minimum is 3. So the class width, we're using the maximum minus minimum divided by 6. And then using the actual number is going to be 59 minus 3 over 6. So that turned out to be 9.333. And then the key thing is to run it to next whole number. So our class width is actually 10. So this is important because we need this, right? In order to get a proper frequency distribution table and a histogram. Now step 3, pick a starting point. And we mentioned in the class, we mentioned we can start with 3. We also can start with a 1, or we start with a 0, right? Either one is good. Now this time I'm going to start with a 0. Just do a slightly different starting point here. So starting point is 0. So that means we can list all the lower class limit. So it'll be 0 and 10, 20. We need 6 of them, 30, 40, 50, right? That's 6. Good to go. And also let's list all the upper class limit. So then will be 9, right? 0 to 9, that's 10 numbers. 19, 29, 39, 49, 59. And just check the largest, right? The last upper class limit. If it covers the maximum, means this starting point is good. Okay. If it doesn't cover that, meaning that the starting point is not a proper one, then we need to modify that. All right, so then last thing is to tally the data set. That part, we don't have to do it, right? So now let's perform the actual operation. So you highlight the entire data set. and you go to insert, and then we are inserting a pivot table. We are using a pivot table. And then you pick the first item here, first option from table and range. So we are picking from this entire data set, including the title. Then we will choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. And we'll put in the existing worksheet. Now here, if you click on this direction arrow here, then you can just pick a cell here, right? Within that box, within the rectangle. And this is where you want to put the frequency distribution table. And click on this icon here, go back, and then click on OK. All right. And basically the pivot table will pop up right here. And this is the pivot table fields. Now, next thing is you're gonna check this, right? Check this X right here. And you're gonna drag it down. Just drag it, right? You'll be able to drag. You see, you can drag this under the rows. All right, that's the first thing we do, right? Now we drag this entire into the row. Okay, we get this. Now, going back here, we need to do groupings, right? So if you click on one of the cell here, now I'm just see with the cursor. Just pick any one of the cell here and then right click on it. And you're gonna see a group. Right, and then we're gonna pick a starting at, right? Starting at 0. Right? So starting point is important. Ending at 59, that's okay. And then by, this means class width. Starting point and then the class width must be proper. Otherwise, our table will be off. Once we pick those two, and then click on OK. Now you're going to see all the classes pop up, right? Properly, you see 09, 10, 19, 15 to 59, everything's here. And look at the second column here, right? It doesn't look right yet. Because what they are doing is, for the first class, there are a couple numbers, 3 and 9. When you add 3 and 9, you get 12. But that's not what we want. We want Excel to count or like tally the data set and then put the proper frequency for each class. So now you click on this, right click on it, and then you could click on the value field settings. Now right here, you're going to pick the count, meaning you want Excel to count how many data values belonging in each group. Okay. Now you click on OK. Now Excel will count for us. Okay. So 2, 4, 7, 7, 1, 3. Yeah. Now let's quickly format this cell, right? So I'm going to bold it, center the font size is too tiny. I'm going to make it bigger, maybe 20. Okay. And then we can just change this, right? The column size, the row size, and then change the title. It's going to be the classes. And then the second one will be frequency. Second column will be frequency. Yeah, so the title has been changed. And I'm gonna format this a little bit. Okay. I'm putting just all borders, make it look like a table. And if you want to show the background, you can do that, right? No problem. I can change the color of this other classes. That's okay. If you want to change the background, that's also doable. Okay. No, it's too. Yeah, this one looks okay, right? This one's okay. All right, now next, so this is the frequency distribution table. it's done, right? This is a frequency. Let me just format painter. Okay, so we get this frequency distribution table. Now we're going to generate the histogram out of this frequency distribution table. So this is how we do it. We're just going to highlight the title with all the classes and the frequencies. And do not select the grand total, right? Do not select the last one. Just highlight those without the grand totals. Right, go to insert, and then we're going to insert this. Click on this one right here. First option, insert column or bar chart. And then we're going to insert a 2D columns, this one. And again, this is very raw, right? This is raw graph. So it needs modification. And yeah, you can pick design, right? There's some kind of design on top. We can pick that. It's right here under design. And now we're also gonna format data series because there should be no gap between all the classes. So we do format data series and pick the first option. Field here, the easiest way to separate them is using the vary colors by point. Then, right, they have different colors for each class. And also, second thing is changing the gap width, right? Under this icon right here, series options, change the gap width to 0%. That's very important, right? So 0%. Now, if you look at that, now there should be no borders. Should have no border, should have no gap in between any two adjacent classes. It looks like still some gap. Let me see. For my data series, change it 0%. Maybe the design will pick, could be. Let's see. Maybe it's not applied to all of them. Okay. All right. Yeah, one more time for my data series, 0%. Okay, now it's fixed. I think earlier I didn't select all the classes, but now it's fixed. No more gap. All right, so this is one way to do it. Also, we can like put different colors on the borders just to distinguish them. So under the border here, we do a solid line, and then we pick something which will stand out. Let's say red, and you see borders will become red. And then if you change the width for the border, let's see. You see, it's basically very clearly separated. And also we can change the title, right? It's a histogram about menu item. Of McDonald's breakfast. And also, if you one more time, if you click on this plus sign, then you can do the data label, right? You put a data label underneath it. You just show you all the classes and then all the corresponding frequencies. Also, if you want to put the axis titles, also you can check that. And then here, change the classes. Even in different size. Different colors. Yeah, same thing here. Y-axis is gonna be the frequency. Similar settings. No. That's just one way to do it, right? Okay. Be creative in terms of finish your own project. Number two, right? You can custom design, your graph. So you just paste it right next to it, right? Or if you want to shrink it, you can actually resize it, to fit in here. That's not a problem. And also, you create a pie chart, right? So here, I'm gonna click on this, right? I'm gonna highlight the entire table without grand total again, right? You cannot select grand total and then click on copy, and then you're gonna paste it under the pie chart. Paste it here. Now, below this, I'm gonna put a total. Actually, total. So now we're gonna sum up all those numbers. Okay. We'll do a quick auto sum, 24. So this is one thing, right? Now we want to get the relative frequencies. So I'm gonna pull my painters here. And now here I'm gonna call this relative frequencies. So basically we are dividing this class frequency by the total frequency. So you do this. We do this cell divided by this cell here, which is M35. But for M35, I'm gonna put an absolute reference. $sign in front of M, $sign in front of 35. And then we hit enter, right? So you get this. Now, since we do the absolute reference right here, then we can just mimic all the formulas and then get it done in one shot. So we get all of this, and then we're gonna turn into a percentage. So for my cells, the percentage, let's say you just want a 2 decimal, that's okay, right? Expressing percentage with the 2 decimal places. Click on OK. Now see. And then one quick check is when you sum up this percentage, we should end up with 100%. If that's the case, it's good. Otherwise, it's not good. The total percentage will be 1. Now, another thing is I'm gonna hide this, right? You can actually hide this. So let me see. Okay, actually we can hide a cell M. So it's click on the column M. And you see there's option here, hide. And that will be gone, right? So hide that entire column. Now we're just going to select all of this without totals, right? Do not select totals, just classes, and then relative frequencies. Now we're going to go to insert. If you want to pick a recommended chart, it doesn't show the pie chart, right? But we can go back to the pie chart options, different options here. Okay. And so we pick the first one. Okay. Then under the pie chart, click on OK, right? So this pie chart will pop up, but it's not done yet. We're gonna do some modification on this chart. But again, I'm gonna pick percentage for each. Okay, this one without a percentage. And let me see what else. Chart titles, data labels is there. for the format data labels, percentage. Yeah, it's good. Solid fill. And again, there's a lot of option here. You can you can create it yourself. What's this? Values. Okay. Format data labels. Will be numbers and 2 decimal place. Okay. That's good. I think it's percentage with 2 decimal place. Percentage with a 2 decimal place. And that's what we want. Yep, you see link source, link to the source, link to this. We get this percentage properly set up. Let's see what else. Label options, text options. Sounding line. No sound. Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty much so again you can use your imagination, right? And then creative use your own way of design this graph too. And also if let's say you want to bring back the M cell M column M, you can just drag it out, right? It will come back. You see, it's actually hidden here, right? It's hidden here. So if you click on that, you can drag it back. Now it's coming back. Okay. So let's see. For some reason the number goes back. Now, so let me fix the percentage here. Numbers. Yeah, it should be percentage with 2 decimal place. Now it's fixed. You can just so that's basically a pie chart. Okay. Any question about this? You go back to the
Would we circle back to this again?
circle back to this. So now you guys you have a chance to work on actual project. But if any question, I'm gonna put you in the breakout room, right? If you have any individual question, I'm gonna go into a breakout room and help you on an individual basis. I think that would be better.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that, right? So now let's go back to the Brightspace course and then your actual project, as I mentioned earlier. And before you went into the Brightspace, I mean the breakout room, I'm gonna quickly call attendance. Okay, before I finish this. So, call attendance. Stop share and